Hey guys, Ryan Bailey here. I want to share with you guys a pre-practice routine, and I gear it more towards yoga because that's what we do every day. But honestly, you could use it for whatever, just like pre-movement, before you're gonna run, before you're gonna work out, whatever, sports, whatever. But really, like my approach is more than anything from the practice of yoga. So I'm just gonna get right into it and go over some of the things that I feel like generally for the average person, general public, would be just super helpful to kind of prep the body before you just jump right into practice. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do is a forward fold, wide legged, not quite Prasarita, but not feet together. So, just go hips, feet outside the hips width, and just ease yourself down into a stretch. And you can do this along with me in this video. So, as you ease into it, no need to rush. Just see if you can catch the elbows. So you're going to like a ragdoll position. And we're just working the head to be very heavy. Once you're grounded through the feet, as the head is heavy, you can start to add some swing. Now you can keep this very lateral, just side to side weight shifting. And you can like bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg. And then you can even take a little twist to it. So like almost like you're trying to take the elbows, both elbows outside the feet. So a little bit of rotation. And any combination of that. This is really just to tap into kind of some intuitive movement with some traction. It's great for the hips, low back, hamstrings. Really good inversion for the spine. And then slowly you're going to come back onto the hands, lift the head and chest up. So a little bit of length through the spine. And then from there, we just drop right into a deep squat position. Now, if needed, you can incorporate sitting on a block if you're not quite ready. So that support of the pelvis will help you maybe not experience so much tension in the knees and ankles. But if you don't need the block, just again, stick with that similar pattern. You can bring the hands together, but I wouldn't force like adduction of the legs or anything. I would just get the hands to the heart and keep the weight heavy in the heels and see if you can ease yourself side to side. So this is compressive to the knee, but in a good way. I feel like that knee joint is getting like a lot of flexion to it. And again, so we're just slowly opening up the ankles, stretching the side joint. You can let the tailbone tuck. You don't need to really think about like extension or flexion of the spine. Just a couple more breaths. And if the movement doesn't work and it's just a lot to hold here, then keep the hands down. And those of you that need to have the heels up, at the back of the calves or Achilles are pretty tight, you just have the heels up and just your best version of a squat. Okay. And then from there, we're going to return back to the forward fold and heel toe the feet back together. Okay. From there, just take another bend in the knees. So a little squat position. Keep the hands down and then forward fold. Then rebend the knees again. Okay, we'll do two more. Exhale, you're forward folding, stamping the heels, letting the head get heavy. And then rebending, going back to the squat, heels lifted. And then back to the forward fold. From there, it doesn't have to be deep, but you can just take an easy twist, straighten the right leg, take the right arm, reach it up. You can have the hand to the center of the mat. If twisting is not an issue, you can bring the hand outside the foot. Also, you could put the hand on the foot. And then we'll go to the other side. So just, again, this is pre-work, prep work. It doesn't have to be like your deepest, most intense twist. And if even the shoulder's having an issue, you could just kind of reach out to the side. But we're straightening the right leg, bending the left knee to go up on the right side. And then one more time. And then back to center. Okay, from there, we'll roll up to stand. And sometimes just being inverted for that amount of time, like you want to make sure you're not dizzy and just kind of reground through the feet. This time we're going to take the ragdoll arm position and just work full circle. So I feel like this is one of just like a really good movement for the whole body to create a little bit of opening. So we'll start up top holding the elbows, and I'm going to go to the right first. And as I go to the right, I'm going to bend the knees deeply. Inhale up, exhale. Okay, then stop at the center. We'll go the other way. Go to the left, bend the knees, reach. One more. And as you get to center again, arms down, feet together. Okay, it's really good for the lateral side body as well. So we're gonna reach the left hand down, right arm up, and we're just gonna work into like just an easy side bend, feel a little stretch, and then switch. And you can have the feet close or a little bit apart. If the feet are apart, the hips will move a little bit further. And again, together if you want. You could try either and just kind of mix it up if you want. A couple more. And then back to center. Now you're going to split the feet apart, take the hands together. So you're going to go binding, palms together. Personally, I like to keep the shoulders in the socket, and you're going to bend the knees a little bit. One more forward fold, this time with a bind. So body's getting a little warmer. So press down through the feet, stretch the arms up and over. Okay, one more breath. And then from there, just put the hands on the floor, and you can bend the knees deeply and have a seat. So as you come to a seated position, I'm going to leave the knees bent and keep the feet maybe about the width distance of the mat or about hips distance apart. And we're going to do an upright twist. So I want you to put your right knee towards the arch of your left foot, like you're trying to touch the floor, and then you're going to switch. So just mobilizing the low back, the hips, the knees, and ankles. And just let yourself roll. You don't need to like anchor much down, like let yourself pivot. And then come back to center. So you can take a choice on this. So upright pigeon position or figure four. So this is great. I kind of like this more as a warm-up because it asks me to be in my upper body and kind of use force, which is helping to warm up the wrists and the shoulders and the core a little bit. And it's a still effective stretch on the hip. Now, if that's not ideal, then I would just lay back and do thread the needle. So either one of those will do for 5 breaths. If you choose thread the needle, you're working the angle of the left knee towards the left shoulder, shoulders down. And then from there you can unhook and go right to thread the needle on the other side. Again, if you like the upright version, feel free. I'll let you choose which works best for you. And again, this is kind of like light, mild to moderate stretching. This shouldn't, unless you're really tight or sore, I don't necessarily want this to be like the deepest stretch I've ever experienced. And it sometimes, especially for warming up, like a little bit of rocking's good. It just helps the tissue prepare for whatever it is that you're going to do. And then from there, if you're on your back, you're going to unhook and just set your left leg down. And then draw the right knee to the chest so you can catch the shin. If you're upright, just recline slowly, and then we'll take the right knee to the left. And nothing fancy, just a nice open twist here. And then you just draw yourself back to center. Straighten the right leg. Just pause there, like let the energy settle. Kind of like move the legs around. All right, and then left knee into the chest again, simple twist. Taking it to the right. And you're just going to look over the left shoulder. And again, we're looking for 5 deep breaths. You don't have to ujjayi breath or deep heated breath. It's just something that supports the body and starting to open. I wouldn't consider that like the heat or temperature of my practice would start now. And if it's possible, I'm trying to look the opposite direction of the knee. If the neck doesn't like that, look straight up. You actually might feel like a little more rotation that way. But if possible, you're trying to let the neck, mid-back, low back all work together. And then back to center slowly. From here, you can draw both knees to the chest and take a couple rocks. And then up to seated. And then when you get to seated, some simple circles. Just pick a direction, about 5 circles, and then switch and go in the other direction. And then you wind yourself back up to center. I'm going to turn towards you guys so you can see this a little bit better. So then one of the last positions I want to do is a base of what's called Baddha Konasana, which is bound angle pose. And what I want to do is just add a variation. So I'm going to take my right hand and put it on the top of my left foot and try to bring my right elbow towards the floor. Now if it doesn't reach, you could go towards the calf, that works too. And then I want to place my left hand just gently, not too much external force, but I want to just try to anchor that side, and then I'm going to lean to my right. So for me, I like to have the elbow down, and then I'm going to let the weight of my head just drop and stretch to the right. And you can walk down towards the hip joint, but I'm trying to feel some opening and stretch through the left QL, a little bit into the top of the hip. If the QL is kind of tight, just take your time coming up. You might feel that one a lot. And any of these that you would want to hold for longer, you can always like go back and just see if any of those are good to help. So same thing, I'm going to push down a little bit on the right side. Head's dropping to the left. And then coming back up. As you just get to a cross-legged position, again, any of those things that you would want to do for longer, hold longer, anything, those are available to you. But I just wanted to share maybe a couple of minutes pre-practice, maybe after practice if you guys are running, like just something like you've got to keep the body fluidly moving. So I feel like at least for us, like we have a pretty vigorous practice, and sometimes it's hard to just jump right into it. So this is a good tool to incorporate into your home practice, or even if you're going to a studio maybe before you practice. Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Be well.